Hello and welcome to the 12th lecture, Introduction to MD Software. So we have ended the discussion on molecular dynamic theory in the previous lecture, and we have discussed about overall MD review and scope. Now we will introduce you to the concept of how to run molecular dynamic simulations through servers or softwares. So this is just a flashback of what happens in molecular dynamics and what we can and can't do with MD. So in terms of MD software, there are several packages that you can use. The most popular ones are LAMMPS, CHURM, NAMD, GROMACS, DESMOND, OpenAM, DLPoly, and there are many more that are popularly used. And these are, and which package is appropriate for you, that actually depends on what problem you're trying to solve. And for example, if you want to solve a problem associated with some protein or biomolecules, probably you are going to be using CHURM, NAMD, or GROMACS. If you are trying to solve a material science problem, you'll probably use DLPoly or LAMMPS. LAMMPS is kind of a common ground for material science or biomolecular simulation because it supports a lot of systems in terms of material science and biomolecules. And when it comes to package, in a package, there are three types of supports, like an interface where you actually run the commands to run an MD simulation through a script or command line interaction. And also there are packages of force fields. We have already defined or discussed on force fields, like these are the conditions in terms of functional forms that you have to apply on the system to run a molecular dynamics simulation under some rules and regulations. And when you are running the simulation under the conditions of a force field and you are interacting with an interface, you will come up with some results and you want to analyze it so that you can produce some data. And in order to visualize those data, or in order to visualize your system, you remember that popular MD simulation results look like vibration of atoms or stretching of a protein, something like that. You want to use some visualization package. Sometimes your package will come with visualization or interface. Sometimes it will not. You will have to use some other separate packages. So some popular visualization software are VMD, Oviedo, Avogadro, Vista, Chimera, PyMol, and so on. And also, like the packages, these kind of visualizations are also kind of preferred by particular problems. Sometimes for biomolecular systems, you want to use VMD. Sometimes for material science, you want to use Oviedo or Avogadro. Something like that. So after you start using these softwares or you go through their documentation, you will understand which software is well suited for which. So that's kind of a brief introduction to the names of the software, and we'll go through what happens in those software when you try to run a molecular dynamics simulation. And in the next lecture, we'll particularly talk about the structure, file, and visualization in an MD simulation. Thanks.